What up, people? This is Bunjo. Don't forget to buy a t-shirt and support your boy at www.thisisbunjo.com. You know, buy the flyest gear, man. Flyest merch. You know, always thanks for supporting. Press thumbs up, like, share, everything. Everything's appreciated, even a view. Shit, even a thumbs down. Throw that at your boy. Today's video is going to be about interesting facts about Croatia. I'll try to give you over 100 of them. Ooh, what are we gonna talk about? Okay, now let's get into it. Yeah! This is the Bunjo show. This is not your show. I traded the 905 for G-O-O-O. This is Bunjo show. Blah. The first fact is the deepest cave is 1,392 meters deep, and that lies in Severny Velebit National Park in the Lukvina Cave. Yeah, and it's 1,475 meters above sea level, so that makes for a huge historic cave. Another interesting fact about Croatia is on the Dalmatian coast, this time in Zadar. Yeah, the world's first pipe organ to be played was in Zadar. It was played by the sea of the rhythmic pipes in Zadar, right on the Dalmatian coast. That's a must visit. That's a great place to go. The next fun fact is on the island of Cres, you got the last remaining European griffin vultures. They live on this island, and those are the last of the remaining griffin vultures. Woo! Scary. So, and another fun fact is Franz Vrancic was the first person to create the wind turbine. Wow, talk about a windy city. Now look at this beautiful sea, huh? Beautiful day today too. Yeah, I don't know, I'm just gonna hit you with like over 100 of them, so let's get into it. Here's a fun fact. Croatians were the first ones to create the necktie. Back in Ban Josip Jelačić, they still do the ceremonies in Zagreb where they have these fancy neckties, and that's why we're wearing ties today, because of the Croatians. And also, here's a football fact about Croatia. The first time of eligibility for the World Cup of Soccer, Croatia placed 3rd place, losing to the champions France by 2 goals from Lilian Thuram, and those were his only 2 goals of his career, and they happened against France in the semi-finals. And so Croatia went on to face, I think it was Netherlands, and they beat them, and Davor Šuker won the Golden Boot. That was the first year they were eligible to qualify for the Euro Cup as an independent country. Woohoo! Talk about a hole-in-one. And still on the football topic, Davor Šuker that year should have got the Ballon d'Or, but instead he lost because he had to go up against the more renowned around the world Zinedine Zidane and the Brazilian Ronaldo, you know, the real good one. Now I'm joking, Cristiano's the man too, but yeah, so he had a tough competition, and he landed in behind them two, but he should have won because he won domestic that year. He was the best goal scorer everywhere, and he won everything that year almost, except for if he would have won the World Cup instead of Zidane, I think Davor Šuker would have been a shoo-in. And there's another football fact. Another football fact is this guy, what's his name again? I think Boban. They have a rumor around town that in Belgrade he kicked a Serbian cop for beating up a Croatian fan, and he kicked off the war. But that's just one of them wives' tales, you know. That's obviously not why the war started, but they have that little, that's a little wives, a little tale, you know what I mean, a fun little fact that everybody used to say that around Croatia. Boban started the war. He kicked it off literally because he kicked the cop. Another fun fact is Marco Polo was born in the land of Corchula, or he resided there. The truth is still unknown, because I think Spain and Italy also hold claims to this, that Marco Polo is from their country also. And also we got Nikola Tesla. He's a Croatian. He was born in Croatia, but he has his father was Serbian. So the way that works here is if your father's Serbian or Croatian, then you're Croatian or Serbian. Doesn't matter, right? So that's another stipulation. David Schwartz was a Hungarian Croatian from Jewish descent, and he created the plans for the Zeppelin aircraft. And later on, he died of a heart attack. So Ferdinand von Zeppelin bought the blueprints of it, and he's the one who claimed fame of it. So really, it was that David Schwartz that created it, but he died, so he couldn't make it come to fruition. So there we go. There's another little fun fact. That's a little sketchy one. That's reaching. And they say after the Canadians burnt down the White House with the help of the English, they had to rebuild the White House in America, in the US of A. So they used the amazing white stones of Brač Island here in Croatia. So yes, a little history is in the White House. I wonder what those stones could see in that White House now, hey boys? Damn, boy, all them walnuts and pizza parties. Shoo! The first pharmacy in Europe was opened in the town I'm currently in of Trogir in 1271. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site now. Oh man. And speaking of UNESCO World Heritage Sites, I think Croatia and I think France have the most UNESCO World Heritage Sites in one country in the whole world. Damn, that's beautiful, right? Woo-wee! You guys got to check out Trogir, I'm telling you. They say the first hydro power plant was created on the Krka River in Šibenik in 1895. But that's wrong, actually, because in Niagara Falls, where I'm from, it's 30 minutes away from my house, on my old house in Canada. They were the first ones. They created the power plant in Niagara Falls, like the actual falls. That's still prominent to this day. They still have the power plant there, and that was they started producing power in 1875. Wow, shoes. The Croatians claim close to Zadar there's this town called Nin, and they have the smallest Holy Cross church there. But that serves to be untrue, because I think in Missouri, USA, they have the smallest church, and I don't know, a lot of people are making claims that are false. There's another fact. Who knows? It's up in the air for debate. On the island of Dugi Otok in Croatia, they have the Highest Lighthouse, which is 42 meters high. And you want to hear something crazy about the paint? It's paint yellow because they have thousands and thousands of eggs mixed into the paint. That's how they got the color yellow. Woo! Talk about a baby killer. Fausto Varenzio was born in Šibenik, and he is said to be the first one that has tested the parachute and had sketches for it. But they say that it's not true, because the Italian boy Leonardo da Vinci claims to have sketches too, but at the same time he didn't test it like Fausto did. So sketches and testing and having the product ready is two different things in my eyes. So congratulations to Fausto Vincenzo. In the town of Ludwig in Croatia, they claim to be the center of the world. You can visit there now, and you can actually see where they have it laid out, the center of the earth. They have it all mapped out, and it's a small town. And speaking of small town, the town of Hum, H-U-M, is in Istria, the peninsula of Istria, and they are the smallest town in the world. Wow! With everything, you know, everything a town's supposed to have, not just like a ghost town with one house or something. A real town. In a border town called Osijek, where Davor Šuker is from, borders, I think, Hungary and Serbia. In 2011, they filled the biggest popcorn at a Cineplex in the world, and that's a Guinness World Record. It was almost 53 cubic meters, and it took almost 2 hours to fill. Damn, boy, I like popcorn butter, but imagine if you bring your girlfriend and cut the hole in the bottom of that barrel. Damn, you'd be waiting for hours for her to find that little needle. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway, you know? That's a crazy one, though. So here's a fun movie trivia and a TV show. Everybody knows Game of Thrones was filmed in Dubrovnik, but do they know the movie Robin Hood was also filmed in Dubrovnik? Parts of Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia, here I go again, my, how could I forget you? And they also had Fiddler on the Roof in Zagreb. There's some entertainment trivia for you guys. Jeez, get me out of here. So here's some marriage and famous people that spent their honeymoon. Agatha Christie spent her second honeymoon here in Croatia, along with Jay-Z and Beyonce. They all spent it in Dubrovnik. Actually, Brad Pitt actually has a house here somewhere, and I think it's on the island of Brač. So that's pretty cool, I think. So celebrities love it. You can always find celebrities if you go to the island of Brač. Celebrities galore. Dan Blitzerin was just here last summer. It was pretty cool. The most common family name in Croatia is Horvat, followed by Kovacevic, Babic, Maric, Juric, Novak, and Kovacic, and then Knežević. Crazy, right? Those names. So Bunjo, my last name, as they would pronounce it, Bunjo, but Thisisbunjo. It's not really that Croatian after all, is it? Damn, that hurts. Croatia has 10 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, but they have lots of UNESCO World Heritage traditions and things like that. So the little Zagreb hearts are UNESCO protected by the UNESCO. Same with, here's a few examples of towns: Dubrovnik and Trogir. And there's plenty more of little crafts, like they got wood toys and everything that are protected by the UNESCO World Heritage. So that's pretty cool facts. I always say this too. Visit Croatia, it's full of life. Want to know why? It's a country that's beautiful, that's by the seaside, and you can drink the tap water. Did you know that Croatia has the best quality of tap water in Europe? Did you guys know that? Probably not. So instead of going to those murky countries in Central America or in Asia where you can't drink the water, come to Croatia. You can drink the tap water. So each Easter in April, Croatia, the island Hvar, and the 7 churches there, they hold a huge ceremony, and it's honestly an unreal sight that I still haven't seen yet, because I've only been here a year and I haven't even made it out to Hvar. But that's just me going off the hearsay and the word of mouth. So I can't wait to celebrate this Easter. Maybe I'll do it this year, but I think I'll be in Argentina. Woo, woo, Easter bunny's coming for you. Give me your honey bunny, honey. As I walk to the store every day, a neighbor stops me. Hey, you want to come for a shot of rakia? Or you want some vino? Some vranjac? Vino? Or how about come for the beer? Unesco? You know, that's how it is. So my experience, I know this fact is true. Croatia per capita is ranked the drunkest country. Yeah, they have the most alcohol consumption out of any they're the top 4 actually, not out of any country, but per capita, that's pretty impressive. And I think there's a country called Uganda. They drink this war gin is the translation for it. It's called waregi. They're also, I think they are the drunkest country in the world. They just drink all day, all night, and they drink that moonshine, baby. They'll make you shit your pants and forget your name. Woo, baby, I can't see in the morning. That's how drunk you are. Damn. Now everybody always talks about the walls of Zagreb, the walls of Dubrovnik, the fortress walls of Dubrovnik, which is pretty impressive because it holds a town, the Stari Grad Dubrovnik, inside the walls, which is very impressive. But also the town of Stone in the same area, you can find the longest fortified walls in all of Europe. So that's pretty cool, you know. Great Wall of China of Europe, here we come, baby. For all its greatness and everything that they do great, Croatia is a small country. It's the 127th largest country in the world. That's a pretty small number. And they look at their, from all their football success and all their great people that come from here, they only have 3.9 million in population in the whole country. I think Toronto has more than that, just fucking in the urinals or pissing in the subway, I swear. So the people here are resilient, great, strong, and brilliant. Love the people of Croatia. Mwah! I'm so proud to be Croatian. Lijepa naša domovina. The Croatians don't call Croatia Croatia. They don't call their language Croatian. They call their country Hrvatska. And they call their language Hrvatski. So if you're a Croatian, you're a Hrvati. So that's a pretty good little tip for when you come here. And you never call them a damn Yugoslavian. You got that name straight. In 1991, President Franjo Tuđman declared its independence of Yugoslavia and Serbia. But this war lasted for years, and they didn't become independent for years after that. But they still declared their independence, and they had to fight hard, and that's why they're so patriotic and proud of their heritage and their past history. But it's still painful at the same time. So it's something they hold close to their heart, and they don't like to be criticized or open up and left vulnerable talking about it to some guy that's gonna make a joke out of it. And that's a fact. Croatia was part of the Hungarian Empire, the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, until the end of World War I in 1918. Croatia then joined Serbia, Slovenia, and formed the kingdom known as Yugoslavia, where they went through many ups, downs, powers, and losses, And that's a fact, baby boy. Post-World War II, after the Croatians joined forces with the Yugoslavian Empire, they became independent. And they became a communist state, just like the Soviet Union that Mr. Bald and Bankrupt solely loves with all his dear heart. Communist was the old way of the world, I think, or at least Europe. Hey, all you security guards in Canada, thanks to the Croatians, you guys get to carry that powerful mag light. The mag light was created here in Croatia. So without that, you'd have that little tiny dinky light probably. So, and the police department carry that mag light too, thanks to the Croatians. Here's some fun facts about their imports or exports, actually. One of their biggest exports is meat in Europe. Smoked meat, any kind of meat. Lots of people like the Slavonian meat out in the Slavonia region. But then it's like, you know, like a drug dealer when he sells drugs, they put all this stuff in it to cut it down, you know what I mean? To spread that meat out, you know, to get a more buck for that meat. Another one is stone. And I think that's it. I don't know, I can't really remember. And obviously the wine in Istria, from Istria, is a big one. And Zinfandel is known to be the grape from Croatia. There's another one for all you wine lovers. The oldest university is the University in Zagreb. It was founded in 1669, the faculty. Franjo Tuđman was known to go there. He got a doctorate there. And that's a fact. He got a doctorate in history. Whoa, Croatia. Forbes magazine and Forbes list ranked Croatia 12th in the world for the retirement havens of the world. You sit on the Adriatic Sea like I'm doing, across from Italy. This is like a less traveled Amalfi Coast almost. Sooner or later, it'll be just as brought up to speed like Amalfi Coast, but right now it's still raw and very Croatian and surreal. So you still get the mountains behind my house. Like behind my house is the mountains you can go hiking through, untouched forest. In front of my house is the sea. So it's crazy to me, you know what I mean? It's just has a little bit of everything, but you better get here before it's touched up in all different places and they start building businesses and water parks and everything, amusement rides, and putting path along the whole island and ruining the natural hike that there is left here today. That's another one. The highest peak on a mountain in Croatia is called the Dinara. And the longest river, I think in Europe actually, is the Sava River. It goes into the Danube. So the Sava River runs through a few countries. I forget them. I know one, Serbia. Well, the Danube turns into Serbia, I guess. But it goes through Bosnia. It's on the border of Bosanski Brod, Slavonski Brod. And yeah, it's huge. It's a lot of rip currents and undertows. It'll suck you underneath the sea and bring you out. I mean, suck you underneath the river and bring you out. Woo, baby, it's a danger, but it's fun to swim in. 2 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize for chemistry came through a couple Croatians' hands. Lavoslav Ružička in 1939 was one of the winners, and the other winner was Vladimir Prelog, or Prelog, I don't know. And that happened in 1975, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember right now, but 1975, I think so. Damn, Nobel Peace Prize, baby. If you are paying taxes in Croatian at the age of 16 and you're Croatian, you can start voting on the presidency at the age of 16. If you don't have a job and are not paying taxes, you have to wait till you're 18, and that's the age you have to wait till to vote, with or without a job. That's an amazing fact. In the early 20th century, there was this writer named James Joyce. He was an Irishman, and he hailed from the town of Polo, where he taught English at a faculty, and that's in the peninsula of Istria. Wow! Yeah, so he was a Irishman / Croatian, I guess. So that's a pretty fun fact. Bang! Croatia enjoys 2,715 hours of sunshine per year. That's the most sunshine in the world. That's even more than Sydney, Australia. So we are the sunny state of all the world. The English poet Lord Byron was the first one to give Dubrovnik the name the Pearl of the Adriatic. That's pretty impressive, you know, and that was way back when, you know. Another interesting historic quotation, or whatever you want to say, or quote, yeah, came from Napoleon. You know, that the ruler Napoleon. He said if he had 100,000 Croatians in his army, he would have took over the world, because they're the best. They're the best fighters in his eyes. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty good coming from a huge dictator and a warmonger like that. Croatian men are strong, yeah. The Egyptian Sphinx in Diocletian's palace in Split, Croatia, is over 4,000 years old, and is brought over here by the Egyptian prince or emperor. So that's pretty cool. That's over 4,000 years old. They got 2 of them. They got one with a head and one without a head, basically. And it's right in the center of Diocletian's palace, right by the church and everything. Can't miss it. Such a good little spot. And the Temple of Jupiter's right there. Woo! If you happen to give birth on the Yadrolinia ferry that travels from far to Italy, right on the Adriatic. So if you give birth to a child on that ship, you will get free ship rides for the rest of your life. Isn't that crazy? About 1/3 of Croatia is still covered in forest. That's pretty crazy compared to the size of it. It's a very small country, so 1/3 of it is untouched. That's wild to me. You know what I mean? And Zagreb is the current capital of Croatia, but did you know that Nin was the first capital of Croatia and it switched over to Zagreb? I don't know when, but I know that's a fact. King Zvonimir in 1100, the year 1100, was the first known Croatian scriber. So he's the first known Croatian text man. It was called Bashka Tablet. That was the name of the text that he created from King Zvonimir, and that's a strong Croatian name. Although Croatia is one of the safest countries in the world, and I can vouch for that, it's the safest country I've ever been to, there's still some places, some forested areas that are a no-go zone because of landmines from the war. They're still uncaptured, unfound landmines that can still cause harm and kill you. So watch out for them forests. So if it says do not enter because of landmines, y'all better listen to that shit, because you'll blow your legs off. So Croatian cents, the lipa, that's what it is. The dollars are the kunas, the cents are the lipas. And the lipas come from the name linden lime tree. And that's why they call it lipa. And even you can use it as a beautiful too here. So it's pretty cool. And kuna is from an animal. So that's why they named it that. And that's the origins of the money here, which they might be expiring in 2023 when they get taken over by using the euro finally. Damn.